Kajaria, how are you? Don't forget to hit the like button, Kajaria. Gamma! Hey. I ain't seen nothing in the garden over there on your side, Gamma. How is the garden going? Marjorie, Fly Girl. Hey, y'all. Good to see y'all. Y'all, my regulars that are showing up right now. Don't forget to hit the like button for me, please, and thank you. My chest hurts a little bit, but I'm good. I'm gonna have to call you, girl. Call me tomorrow. Call me tomorrow, okay? How are y'all doing? Gamma, what I was saying was, Gamma, I haven't seen your garden in a minute, and that don't mean that you ain't posted anything about the garden. It just means that I haven't I haven't gotten to see, what's going on, yeah, or whatever. I be trying to make my way around to everything, because when I'm in the hospital, mostly I'll be there sleeping. Well, trying to get some sleep, because when you're in the hospital, they coming in your room every hour on the hour, doing something to you, poking you, sticking you in every kind of way uh, that they can. So you don't never really have no breaking. So it's just you be so tired or whatever. But amazing world tricks. Hey, amazing world. Um, So y'all know how we do. We just come on. I just come on here and let's see how it is until it hits me in my head to start talking to y'all about something that been happening with me. Cause God knows, um, I have a lot of stuff that's going on with me. And one of the things was today is that, like, I feel like through all the stuff that I'm going through, like, the enemy be mad, like really really mad, because like I can't catch a break. I just feel like different people sitting back at me and just uh laughing at any little thing that it looks like I'm about to take a downfall. And even sometimes myself, I be harder on myself than I think anybody else is being harder on me. But it's like I feel like with all the stuff that's coming at me right now, it's like there's times that I feel like, like if you get you get your car stuck. Hey, Tasha Speaks. You get your tire stuck in, like, in some mud or something like that. You feel like you stuck in that mud and you just spinning in the same place. I talked to y'all a little bit about it the other day through a short, telling y'all that I feel like in this season that I'm in or whatever, I feel like I ain't growing. Doesn't mean that I don't continue to try to grow. I'm just in the moments that I be in, I be trying to speak to y'all from the place that I be in at the moment, because everybody always talking about how I'm always smiling and stuff like that, like I'm a happy person. And I never want to give the illusion that I don't be going through some stuff. Anybody know if you got cancer, you gonna go through some stuff. So I just be trying to be you know, not handing off any illusions, trying to make it seem like it's this way and that way. I have up and down days just like everybody else do. That smile is not something that always show. And though when I see toxicity coming one way, I try to run the other way, and I keep getting that warning coming left from right, that of people telling me, hey, when you see toxicity coming, like I'm telling you, several people have been telling me that if you see it trying to come into your corner or whatever, run. Run away from it. You know, don't deal with don't deal with any of that. So, but yeah, so those of you all, um, I've been getting a lot of messages of people saying that, where am I? Why am I not doing any lives and stuff like that? I haven't been doing any lives because I've been in the hospital. And while I was in the hospital, I didn't feel like doing a whole bunch of talking and everything like that. Just be weak and everything. As you can see, still, as I'm talking to y'all, I still be like having my eyes closed. Today was my first day going out into the garden and um, really seeing like what's going on out there, and just being able to take a deep breath. Just like some of the things in real life, you ain't able to do nothing about them. You just kind of look at it and you take a deep breath and let it be what it gonna be, and you just learn how to keep on moving instead of letting it knock you down or whatever. So, you know, y'all know that I be fighting and trying to keep the garden, going going the way that it's going or whatever, but sometimes it get hard. It's hard out here for, and by no means am I a pimp. So, but anywho, so what y'all been up to? Y'all know we'll be on here for about a good 10-15 minutes before a real conversation strike up. And in the meantime, let me just see. There's what else has been going on with me? And so I haven't even been on here with you all at all. um, since I think the night before, maybe the night before I did chemo. So Sunday, Sunday would have made a week. Since I've been on here to talk to y'all. So, okay. Monday morning, not yesterday, but the Monday before, I went to chemo. Blessings all right. Marjorie, thank you so much. Did you see I made a video today, name of you, where you always encouraging me to keep growing and going? I named the video after you, and I put the fly and the girl after it. So, shout out to you. um, I went to chemo on Monday, and while I was in chemo on Monday, I started feeling nauseous. And I guess nausea is like a weird thing because the first part of your chemo session is for them to give you Zofran, which is an anti-nausea medication, and steroids. Um, so I started to experience seeing some vomiting. So during that time of vomiting, she was like, have you ever done this before? No, I haven't. Usually don't do this before. I usually get sick like right after I leave chemo and I get home and start vomiting. So they paused the chemo and began to check my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was pretty high. The bottom number was in the hundreds. We'll just say that. So the next thing they checked, and I had took a blood pressure pill that morning. Um, then they checked my sugar, and my sugar was 300 and something. So at this point, they're like, yeah, we're pausing. Check the blood pressure again. Blood pressure was still going higher. I'm still vomiting. My last appointment prior to this, my doctor had a conversation with me that he wanted to do everything to keep me out of the hospital because he says the hospital is not a good place for a person with their immune system compromised. So, um, It wasn't me who put me in the hospital this time. They called the ambulance, and the ambulance picked me up from chemotherapy and took me to the hospital, where I ended up staying in the hospital from that Monday until this Friday that I just got out. And so much for staying away from the hospital. So out of 6 chemo sessions that I've had, because this was round 6, and I did not finish. I got to the last. I had 1 hour and 30 minutes of chemo left to go, which were the. I actually think those last 2 bags of chemo that they put on there is the aggressive, the two aggressive chemos. Um, I didn't even get to them. So, anyways, today, where my mind is about not finishing that chemo session, I just thought to myself, um, before I was okay with if I didn't get chemo, then it wasn't meant for me to have it at that time. So I'm gonna be fine with if God wanted me to have all 3 bags of chemo on Monday, then I would have had all 3 bags. But I only ended up getting that 1 bag and getting the partial of the second bag and leaving there. Um, so I had an offer to come back and finish that session, and I decided, no, I'm just gonna wait until it was time for my next um, chemo, which is Monday coming up. So that's where I am with that right there. But what the doctor was trying to do by keeping me out of the hospital, it did not work. So out of I'm at round 6. My next appointment would be round 7. Out of 6 chemo sessions, um, only the first one didn't land me in the hospital. All the rest of them, I ended up being in the hospital after every single chemo session. So, um, and that's where I am with it today. I feel um, almost back to a little bit of normalcy. Once you go through a session, I said it over and over again. And not until the other day I heard somebody say it. The word that suits it just fine is you feel absolutely sluggish. Like, how a slug move real slow. That's kind of the energy that you have after going through. Hey, Korean. That's the energy that you go through after having a chemo session. Well, I don't know about you or whoever else. I'm telling you, that's the way I feel. I don't have no energy, legs like jelly. So sluggish is what I can say that I feel after having one. So today is like my day of, let me walk back there and walk around the garden and see what I see. And a lot of what I seen is not pleasant or whatever, but I'm gonna kick out the stuff that's unpleasant to me in my eyes, and I'm gonna go for the things that I do see. So it's still good to me that I see new things coming up. Because that's kind of how things in your life really work, right? You get um old things die out, and then new things come and they grow in, and come up and everything. So when I'm going out in the garden, it's like I hate at any point where I see like something is dying out or something like that or whatever. And I pulled out all the Brussels sprouts today, gave them, and it ain't like I'm losing really big. It's almost like I'm growing something and then I'm feeding it to my chickens and everything. Hey, chef. I fed all of that stuff to the chickens. I pulled out probably like 12 collard green plants. A lot of, and I see somebody say it today, that brassicas don't really do good in the summertime and everything. But y'all seen what my greens and stuff be looking like all this time, and but staying away from your greens for a week in the summertime, and it ain't getting no rain like that in Florida. It's crazy work. You ain't gonna get them. You ain't gonna get them to last. You literally have to go out and tend to them on a day-to-day basis to be able to make them work or whatever. But I'm just thankful for what I still have or whatever. So I ain't gonna complain about it much of nothing. But y'all know I hate bald headed spaces out in the garden. So you know, it is what it is. We'll figure out something to go into it. And then I don't have that long. Probably I need to let those areas rest or whatever, because it's about to around September is when I'll usually like probably go back in and put more brassicas like my broccoli, and I'm definitely gonna grow Brussels sprouts again. So around September, towards the end of September or the middle, I'm going to start to do my broccoli, lettuces and all of that kind of stuff like that during that time, because the weather start to cool off here in Florida. Florida just hot as I don't know what, and I'm even skeptical about speaking of planting that stuff in September, because this Florida, where you can get winter in the middle of summer and summer in the middle in the middle of winter. That's what it's like. What up, TMB? What is up? I ain't seen you in a minute. Yes, it is very hot here in Florida. So, I don't know what I get. And I think from where I had my tomatoes out there, I think I gave the when the tomatoes got diseased, then I cut. Why you been there? What's good there? I know ain't nothing good though. What you went to jail for? Or you don't want to tell me? I need to come over on your page. You put a video up about it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I try to keep up with certain things, but I don't know. Saying that I'm gonna do it in September, we'll have to see what it is. But regardless of whatever's going on, I'm gonna keep on growing. Even if I plant something and it don't make it through or whatever, I'm gonna plant half of what I got and keep on going. Right now, I'm trying to talk my kids into going back there in the backyard where the acres at, and run that over one more time. Plant some pumpkins back there, so you know they can have their experience of growing their own pumpkins back there. So and I was trying to get them to do that today and yesterday, but it ain't work out. We gonna see what it do tomorrow. But how is everybody? And if anybody got any questions for me, y'all know I don't mind answering no questions or whatever. Those of y'all who sitting in the chat and everything, and you don't say anything over here, this chat is a safe chat. Anybody that if you got a question, if it's a respectful question, you respect me and I respect you. You step out of line and I step out of line with you too sometimes, if I feel like it. And sometimes I just laugh at you and let you go on about your business or whatever. But, we friendly folks over here when we get ready to be, for the most part. And, we have grown folk conversation and stuff over here. And over here, we don't necessarily stay on point with what I'm talking to. I just be running my mouth and talking until we get to the real conversation that we actually here to have. Because we always end up, I don't care if we've been on here for 30 minutes, go past the first 30 minutes of the video, and I guarantee you the conversation that happens after those first 30 minutes is worth hearing and listening to. So, God's still working on me. I done smoked all that them herbs in my garden. Well, TMB, That ain't surprising to me because the day he stopped working on you, then you're gonna be 6 feet under. Then at that point, God's still working on all of us, and anybody that can wake up every day and not say that God working on them, that's a problem. So yeah, he working on all us. Where it may seem like your problem is a little stronger than this one over here, or that problem may be stronger. See where you at right now. I probably would say to you, I'd rather go to jail for a couple of days than to be going through what I'm going through right now. We all got our own cross to bear, and it is what it is. And as long as every time you feel like you get knocked down and he working on you in a situation that you know you need, and you know that you need work in that area, and you get up and keep on working on it, it shall be done after a while. And here it is again. When I tell you, there is sometimes that I be encouraging people a whole lot, and sometimes through me encouraging somebody else, like I can hear. You know how like you talking in a megaphone, but it's almost like the megaphone turned back around to your ear, and it's like you're giving this encouragement to somebody else, or you can be telling somebody about something that's going on in their life or whatever, and it's like you need to hear those words your own self. You need to eat those words their own self. Whether it you will view it as a good thing or a bad thing, it's something that you need to a plate that you need to eat from yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I love my little garden. You have definitely inspired me. I'm so glad that let, let me tell you something. It's something about if I can encourage everybody, TMB, you too. If you hopefully you got a real garden out there that you growing some other things in the garden. Cause I'm gonna tell you, when you can't find a friend, you can't find a loved one, or no none of that stuff to be able to talk to. And people actually be thinking that you crazy to go out into your yard and be talking to your plants and stuff like that. It ain't a crazy thing. You ain't gotta move your lips when you talking to your plants. You ain't gotta do nothing. But to go out there and be able to put your hand down in some soil and grow something with your hands is more powerful than any words that I can say to you. Hey, Selena. Hi, Selena. Selena. Being able to go out into your garden when life is overwhelming and you feel like you can't do nothing else. I'm telling you, there's so much encouragement that's out there in your garden. And I don't care if you start with one or two little plants. I ain't telling nobody. It always been my motto. I'm not telling nobody to go to no store and buy no pack of seed. I know somebody got a tomato at they house where they gonna cut it up and put it on a sandwich. Get you some seeds from out of there. Somebody got a cucumber at their house where they making a salad. Flick you some of the seeds from out of there. Stick it in a little flower pot. Let the cucumber plant grow. Um, there's all kinds of seeds that come with your food that you can start a garden. And when that going into that garden, when you feel like there's nobody else to talk to, you'll find yourself having a conversation inside of your head that you don't even recognize at first that you having. And then the next thing you begin to realize is that I'm actually growing stuff out here. And your garden is the one thing that you pour something into. You don't have to ask it to give anything back to you or no none of that. It just gives back to you. And I don't know how all of those things work, but I get into my spiel and I can only tell people about how I feel when I walk out into my garden and I come from out there. Now get me in the middle of it and I can definitely tell you some things. I can definitely tell you some things about it. Um, but I mean, I don't care what it is. Try and grow something and just see what it do for you. I don't know if you ever been that little kid, but in my in my age, at my age, watching my kids go to school and come home, and I'm just remembering every single one of them when they got to that stage, and I believe it's like third grade, second or either third grade, when they have the experiment. Selena, let me know what grade it is when the kids do this right here. When they get to that stage where they grow like a lima bean plant or something like that. And all I can remember is the day when the kids come home from school and they got that lima bean in that little cocktail cup that they done planted it in. And when they running, the plant just flopping everywhere, but they so excited to come running home with that plant hanging over the side of that cup, and they are excited that they grew that one single lima bean plant. Growing something in your garden, let me tell you something, this is another one. It don't require no seeds. I know there's plenty of people out here, you peel a potato, a red potato, a yellow potato, an Idaho potato, I don't care what it is. You don't have to have no skills to go out there and dig a little hole in the ground and dump those potato peelings that you just peeled into a hole and cover it up and let it just do what it do. And don't be surprised if you mess around and grow your own potatoes. Again, I said red, yellow, Idaho, whatever kind of potato. Peel the peelings off the potato and put them, the skins, into the ground. I ain't gonna even give you no specific way to put them down in the ground. Just go and put them in the hole in the ground and cover it up and walk away from it. Don't do nothing to it. Don't even water it. And watch what happens. And I promise you, if you put them there and something happens, it'll be the start of something brand new happening in your life. Because that's just how gardening is. So there it is. I'm on my garden spiel again. Which I love to be on. Anyways, I love encouraging people to grow. Um, Growing out in the garden has encouraged me. Yeah, Tony Brandon, how are you? Um, are you saying really what I know about the potato, the skins off the potatoes? Um, Growing out in the garden, something that has now turned into encouraging me. It's like a tug and a pull, a tug and a pull, where the where I'm growing in the garden at one point and things are growing really well, and then it goes down. And I always tell y'all too that I tie whatever I'm going through in life, in my real life, I tie my real life to my garden, because my garden speaks to me. When it's things that I'm supposed to be doing, when I'm failing at something in one way, or when I'm succeeding at something in one way, my garden shows it to me. And sometimes I think that I'm failing at something. Say, for instance, like if you going to school or something like that, right? And you want to know, am I doing good enough? And this just basic, like this is your relationship between you and God. You know, this how you talk to Him or whatever. So I want to go and I'm aiming to graduate from this, and everything. And I want to know, am I doing good enough or whatever? So if I just giving you an example, if I've tied what I'm doing to my garden, then I'm going to go out in my garden, and my garden is going to be a manifestation of when I walk out there, I'm going to see something, and it's going to say, because your plants and everything are going to be standing up and they're going to be green, or you're going to have a question or something about, well, how can I solve this problem? Say you having an issue with somebody at school or something, and you need to learn how to work around it. How it happens, I don't really know. I'm just telling you, you have to get into it. You have to ask me questions so I can answer specific ones. But I tie my garden to my real life. It is an actual manifestation. It was at one point in my life, I'm just give you this example. One point in my life, like I was questioning, because I have people that I really love hanging out with and whatever, but just because you absolutely love hanging out with people and stuff all the time doesn't mean that you should hang with them all the time, because sometimes it needs to be a break, because there's things that they need to get and they should not be depending on you to be the one to get it for them. God want them to themselves so that they can, do their own thing, and vice versa. Same thing can be for you. And so at one point, my garden was like everything was stagnant. Like I had these little baby plants that was out there. And it was like every day I go out there, it's like I'm seeing no change. And when you go out in your garden, there's absolutely going to be a change. It's like every 3 days that you go out there, you should be seeing some change in the way that your plants and stuff look. Definitely. Right? So I kept going out there and I was like, I got these lettuce that was planted there for more than 3 weeks and nothing is moving. So I'm like, okay, God, what's going on here? Why isn't my stuff growing? But I was refusing. I was fertilizing them, watering them, and everything. Nothing was moving. But I also felt in my real life, I felt like me trying to help somebody else get through their things, it was time for me to cut them off. I needed to, not in a bad way, I'm saying, because sometimes it's going to be times that you're required to cut people off and go your way, and then they'll understand in it. In anything that I'm saying, and y'all don't, it doesn't make sense to me, ask your questions. Um, and I was struggling with how is this person going to feel if I just come up and say, um, we need to separate. Like, I no contact. We can't talk to each other or any of that right there. And because I was too worried about what they were going to go through instead of doing what was required of me, I began to be stagnant along with it. And after I was able to make that move and cut it off, my plants began to grow again. So did I. Now, this, if you want to tie your garden to whatever it is you got going on in your life, I'm just giving you an example of how it can work. It's like where you can't see things in other ways, your garden can show you those things. So, really, wow, pretty good. And you, yes. Um, hey, all about her territory. Good evening. Good to see you. Beautiful. God bless you. Thank you very much. Tenfold to you. We have too many rodents where I live. Um, Tony, well, I have where you have animals and stuff like that, which I do. There's always rodents and stuff around, but I'm here to tell you that if you plant these peelings into the ground, the rodents ain't looking for those peelings that you put in the ground. They really ain't. They on a trail to, if they already there, they looking for what they been getting a long time ago, and they gonna keep on looking for that source where they been getting it from, unless you introduce something that's much bigger than what they already there going after. They ain't worried about your potato peelings or no nothing. And then if you don't want to do that, then put them in a flower pot or something like that. I'm just letting you know it's easy to grow your own groceries, and especially at the price that we paying for the things that we get from the grocery store, you want to regrow the stuff that you get there so you can get some little extra out of it. um Marjorie, hey Rich. Many times your things and their things become too much and becomes draining. Absolutely, Marjorie. You know what it is. And then even because you want to be a good friend and stuff, sometimes it just seems like, do I really want to do that, as or like that? And sometimes it is what it is. You have to. Um and I am somebody who will do that. Like, I'm going through all of the stuff that I'm going through, and yet and still I'm still trying to be somebody's this and somebody's that. And not at this moment, I'm getting better. I'm getting better with not doing those things, and like kind of like, just trying to chill or whatever. But um and then too, I'm like a loner. I be by myself a lot of the time. So then when I do have conversations, or I do be around somebody, I'm around them for quite some time or whatever, things like that. So um yeah, it absolutely can become draining. So, but let me see what else that I swear sometimes I do need to take notes or whatever, but I just be like, I feel like whatever it is, I'm a whole vibe. I was just thinking about you because I was doing the garden spiel. I'm a whole vibe. It ain't been nothing for you to be present, to, because I haven't been on here either. This been my I think I only this the second time I've been live, I think, since the last time that I saw you. Hope everything is going okay. I haven't been present. Just know I'm catching replays. Alrighty then. All right. But I literally was just thinking about you, and here you go, pop right on in there, because uh, it started in the garden. I remember that's the first time I met. I'm a whole vibe, is her saying, because you know why everything's good in the garden, because that's where everything started, in the garden. Okay, amen to that. But yeah, I haven't been on here that much. But like I was saying, is I come on here and I don't take notes and stuff when I come on here, because I feel like I'm a kind of let it flow kind of person. And for me too, I be trying to get out of that thing of where, like, what if it's a little bit amen to that. What if it's like I was just talking about white noise to my niece. Sometimes white noise is like can can make anxiety show up in a situation. And for me, it's like there can be like a little nervousness or something that try to show up. Like, say I have a moment where I don't really have anything like to say. Yep, life began in the garden. I don't have anything to say. It's like, I always say to you all, when I come on here and I have a conversation with you all, I like it to flow kind of like on the phone. You know how you and your friend talking on the phone? Sometimes I go out to the garden and I have my friend on speakerphone, or my niece on speakerphone, or whoever I'm talking to. I have them on speakerphone, and I still be moving around in the garden. Well, I used to do that. Now I be like more focused on, when I'm out in the garden, that's like my peaceful place, or I have a live on or something like that. But sometimes white noise makes people feel anxious, and I'm gonna just stop saying it make people feel anxious. Sometimes white noise make me feel anxious, and when I'm on here talking to you all, because um I don't come on here to put put a video on for it just to be silent, unless we out there listening to the water sprinklers. Then I can be silent all day, because there is times that I just go out and turn the sprinkler on and just listen to it, because it's peaceful to me. But there's a little bit of an anxiety that comes along with that quietness. It's like I need to be able to feel it in, and I don't need to be able to feel it in, because that sometimes it's required a silence to be able to hear what it is, the next thing that you are supposed to say. And so I try to do things to put myself, anything that brings about an anxiousness in me, I'm trying to find the tool of how to not allow that anxiousness to come up in me. Anything that creates an anxiety on the inside of me, I'm trying to find a work to be able to get out of feeling that anxiety. How do I work backwards from that so that that's not what I'm feeling? Because the words say be anxious for nothing. So I don't want to be anxious for anything. If I don't have anything to say at the time, then I don't have anything to say. And when it's time for it to come, let it flow. So over here, we kind of like a let it flow type of situation or whatever. And we don't stay on one topic all the time. You just have to see how it be flowing over here. Over here, sometimes we be all over the place. One minute we talking about this, the next minute we talking about that. One minute we talking about marriage, the next minute we talking about this, the next minute we talking about. We be all over, all in the garden. We be everywhere over here. This channel is about life, point blank. Period. And it's called Life with Tashana because what you're gonna do is over here is life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. Whatever it is that I'm going through life on that day, maybe I'm cussing somebody out on that day. You might turn on this live and where you see she over here smiling and talking all calm and everything. And oh, I love her voice, which is I hear that a lot of the times or whatever. One, don't be shocked. One of these days you hit the live and she be over here punching some things, going off, cussing somebody out or whatever. There's many sides of me, and just like TMB said not too long ago, God's still working on me. He's still working on me too. He's still working on me too. And a lot of things, the one thing that I do have a fear about is I have a fear of disappointing God. But I know I definitely have days that it don't. There's not the first thing that enter my mind. My flesh be ever present, and but he's still working on. He's still working on me. That's why I said to TMB, don't worry about that. As long as you know you got some more work to do, keep on doing the work. Cause none of us ain't perfect, and that's why I try to make it every now and then that I bring it back to reality. No, I got a whole bunch of flaws, and ain't nothing perfect over here. If I was telling y'all about everything that was going on in life with me, I'm telling y'all have been none got annoyed with me, and you'd have been none left because you'll think by then, ain't nowhere in the world all of this stuff keep on happening to this girl. When I tell you, it's been like that all my whole life. It's like you going through one thing and you walk out of that and you free for you got it going on for about a good 2 weeks, and then the next week after that you step in the next pile of sugar honey iced tea, like my sister be saying. You step in the next pile of sugar honey iced tea. Um, right after that. So it's always something. And I can come on here and complain to y'all every day, all day long. But it ain't what I want to do. And some things you kind of try and um keep for yourself. Somebody may come on here and see and may think, oh, she always smiling and everything, and a lot of people don't know that right now I'm in a situation as my marriage is crazy. It's upside down. Um and just trying to figure out the everyday ins and outs of that right there, and just people asking you questions. You got a lot of stuff going on. People ask you questions about what you're gonna do, and everybody think you gotta have an answer for everything. My answer to it is I don't know. I ain't doing nothing right now, because the magic answer that a lot of people want to hear is, are you gonna get a divorce? Are you going down to the courthouse? I know nothing. And I'm here to tell you it's absolutely all right to say, I ain't doing nothing right now. It is what it is. For what? Now, if I felt the urge in my body or something that, hey, I want to go out and I want to date other people, I want to be with other people. I don't no longer want to be tied to you because, yeah, I ain't gonna even say that part right now. But um, if you're not interested in going out and being in the dating world, and with the way I see things be looking at right now, child, I don't care nothing about none of that stuff right now. Me myself, I ain't looking to add another person to my roster and none of that stuff right there. So though I can talk about the things that I'm going through in my marriage, and I can mention it and not add anything else to it because I've already talked about my marriage on here, been talking about it now for about two years. If you're not interested in going out and he ain't going out there in the streets and he ain't doing none of that, let it be. Let it be. Leave it alone. Let it do whatever it is that it's gonna do. You don't need to run down to the courthouse because you got somebody, and especially if you got somebody suggesting to you to end your marriage or what you should do with your marriage, and then they ain't never had a ring on their finger, or they ain't never been through anything, or everything that they go through, they run away from it. They don't stand in it. They don't try and work it out. Because I can tell you, um, marriage is work. And when I tell you it's work, I ain't talking about your job that you go to pay your bills at home and no none of that. It's a different kind of work. Um, but yeah, if you don't have any of those things, that you trying to do, there, what's the purpose in going down and to the courthouse and doing all of those things? So, for me, I definitely don't have any of those things on my agenda. At first, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm still in that same place. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have no plans on what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be here. And what Marjorie said, I'm just going to work on Tashana right now. I got enough stuff going on that I don't need no extra stuff. No extra stuff on my plate at all. What you said, me, the Korean, is plenty of people living the same way. Yeah. And ain't stressing about it in no kind of a way. Yeah. So there's nothing in that situation that's bothering me. He go his way, I go my way. We see each other. Hey, how you doing? And we keep going until, um, in my opinion, until I feel like he wants to do something to change that. Me myself, I don't feel like I need to do anything to change anything. I've worked and 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 tried to make this situation work. And I think I'm all, you know how they say, that song, I'm all cried out over you. I'm, yeah, I ain't got, I'm all worked out. I don't got no more work that I want to do. I'm not struggling. I'm not hustling. It's just like I'm content with the work that I've put in throughout this entire marriage. I'm content with it. And yeah, I don't know. Hey, Miss Parker. Um and if there comes something on the inside of me that I can do some work on, trust me, I ain't too proud to come back and say, "Oh, I found something that I do need to work on." I ain't too proud. I'm not too proud to do that because nobody enters into a marriage for it to not work. I'll just say that. Thank you very much. Hey, Miss Parker. When a woman's fed up, there ain't nothing you can do about it. Woo! Yes, ain't nothing you can do about it. Yeah. And so it's like, when you done tried and tried and tried and you done tried to put these pieces together, you get tired of picking up the pieces. Now, did any of you all see the lady that they was post that a lot of people was talking about her yesterday? She was a very bright skinned lady, and say she's about 50 years old, but she looked really really good for her age. She looked like she was younger than me, and I ain't 50 yet. Uh, but she looked real young. But she found out that her husband was giving one of his little girls or something out in the streets. He was giving her $1,000 every 2 weeks, but he ain't got no job, and he done did 22 years in prison, and his wife done helped him get up on his game or whatever. But he messing around with all these different girls or whatever. Honey, when he got on and he came on her thing and started to speak and everything, and I was like, yeah, girl, the backlash, cause yeah, he gonna get some backlash, but he ain't gonna get no backlash like she do. And right now, I feel like her stuff was probably so big that she needed to come on out here, and it needed to be. It was so big of what he was doing, because this man would. She said that this man would leave at 7:30 in a.m. and he wouldn't come home to 5 a.m. So that means he's spending how many hours with you? And then she said he couldn't get it up, and all of this different kind of stuff because he been messing with this one and that one and everything. And the way he came online, and he had no accountability. No accountability. He was blaming everybody else for what they had going on in their marriage and stuff. And I said, oh yeah, after she get all of this backlash and stuff from there, she gonna move in a different type of way. And he was so confident, so confident. But yeah, for me, I've never had to deal with and I ain't trying to be one of them ones and be like, my husband ain't never cheated on me before. But the one thing I do know is I ain't never caught wind of it before. I don't know nobody who he ever cheated with. That everybody don't have those struggles in their marriage. Sometimes uh just little simple things your husband don't take no accountability for, or no nothing like that. It don't be things that be hard down in there. I'm just saying I ain't never dealt with those issues in my marriage. But just as hard as it can be with somebody being um not loyal, you can get annoyed with somebody that does not hear you, that does not listen to you. Everything you do, it ain't never good enough. Every decision you make, you won't make good decisions. It's a whole bunch of different things that can make you fed up. And all of those things that I started naming is all of the things that is irritating to me. Not that I want the other side of where you get the infidelities and all of that stuff. There is several different things that can happen inside of a marriage that can make you fed up. And just like Korean just said, when a woman's fed up, there ain't nothing you can do about it. It don't matter what the situation is. when she fed up. And it don't necessarily have to be the woman. A man can get fed up with the same thing. You keep trying to like, she don't show no respect, no nothing. You know, it's different things that you can go through. It's a whole bunch of different things that you can go through, and they swing both ways. But I'm tired of trying to make the effort where I'm trying to make him happy about every single thing, and everything that I'm working trying to make him happy about is never good. Never good enough. So when you get that kind of reaction back from it, then you go to this situation where you don't give a, and I'm trying to be good with my words because listen, I can cuss like a sailor. So yeah, it can't be one-sided. I can never do anything right, and I'm going to tell you what that is a reminder for me. And it's quieter now in my mind because I don't have so many children running around me taking my focus off of what's getting on my nerve. So it's very quiet, and now that it's so quiet now, it's like, can I ever do anything right? And then it doesn't matter. The more I keep saying, it's like I try, when I can't get it right in this area over here, then I try to go over here and get it right in this area over here, and it doesn't matter which way that I go. He's never going to tell me that I do anything right. Any of the decisions that I make, even though I've raised 14 children that make A's and B's, um, cook for them every single night. If I cook this over here, I cooked it wrong. If I cleaned this over here, I cleaned it wrong. I can't never do shit right. So once I catch on to that, you're never going to tell me that I do anything right. Doing anything for you goes out the window. I don't care anymore. And that's exactly where I am right now. So since I can never do anything right, I'm always wrong. Always wrong. Well, let me go over here and be wrong by myself. And I know a lot of y'all don't know actually how fed up I actually am. If you know what I gave up, some of the things that I gave up because I am fed up, you'll be like, girl, I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, I don't want it. I'd rather struggle and go through some things than to have that over there. And that's just facts. I'm telling you, some of the things that I gave up, my family is like, my family begged me, won't you go back in the house? No, I'm not. I'm fed up and I just want to be by myself. I ain't now I ain't looking for none of those things that I was looking for because I'm the kind of person, well, you did a good job and thank you for doing that and this and this, and now it's just like, I don't want to give it and I don't need it. I congratulate and pat my own self on the back. Yeah, I'm done. I don't need it. Enough is enough. What they say to you is how they feel about themselves. Yep, the sacrifices. And so, to me, I don't want to hear it. I don't care what you think of me. Yeah, I don't care what you think of me. And then the important thing is then once you remove yourself from the situation, go back and revisit it and know all of those things that you said that I didn't do and I did it wrong. You know I absolutely killed it. I did it all. I did it all. I ran circles around it. I ran circles around it. And so now instead of doing it for you and somebody else, Now you can focus on you and do what you need to get you back right. And in the position that I'm in right now, I need to focus on myself as much as I possibly can, and not any toxic, um, out of bounds stuff or whatever. And those of you that know, if you entering to a marriage and you want to be married or any of that stuff, don't go into your marriage thinking that it's the other person's responsibility to make you happy. It's your responsibility to make your own self happy, and occasionally, um, do that for one another, making each other happy. But the moment you realize that, you're depending on that person to make you happy and smile every day, you going the wrong way. You need to back it back up, and um so yeah. um Hold on one second, y'all. Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. um just throw it off even just a little bit with, yeah. Anyways, but right, it is. And after a while, it does come to a point where it is all about you. And I used to talk to y'all about selfishness, feeling like I'm being selfish in the position that I'm in right now, is where I just don't have time to think about somebody else how somebody else feel about, something that I'm doing, something that I want to do, or whatever, because I had all of those things at the top of my list. Um, is my husband gonna feel some type of way because I'm going to hang out with my friends? Is he gonna feel some type of way if we go on um, a little vacation thing? Or how is he going to act if we go and we spend family time with the rest of the family in the Airbnb and everything? Like, everything was all about making him happy. But then everywhere that I went, and he was never happy about any of those things and everything. And so then I got to a point where, I don't care about anything. So now when we get ready to go, I just, walking on eggshells. Now, anytime we get ready to go somewhere, I don't even open my mouth and mention, hey, me and the kids getting ready to go X, Y, and Z. I pack up my shit and we go. That's what we do. Well, that's what I do, because I'm the parent just as well. We're both parents. I don't keep no kids or no nothing away from no other or whatever. But now it's just like, all of the respect that I did show and never got any approval. If I wanted to go and hang out with my friend, then gotta do all of these. And those who are married, you understand what I say. You gotta you there's rituals you gotta go through and stuff, before you go and do those things and everything. And then there's rituals you do when you come from doing all of those things. And now I ain't going through none of that. None of that. Hey, Darcy, I'm not going through any of that, because I'm not finna put myself through the torture of letting you know that I'm about to go and take this trip or any of this stuff. I'm just gonna plan my trip out. I'm gonna go and do what I'm gonna do. And then when I come back, and it's like everybody who around you, oh, they ain't no good. They gonna ruin our marriage. They gonna this and they gonna do that. It never. You couldn't do nothing. Everything I do is wrong. is wrong. And so I just got to a place of where, okay, then, since I'm wrong about everything, let me go over here and be wrong. Let me go over here and be wrong all by myself. All by myself. And it's not such a bad place. Do I got a different way? I have a different way of living and getting things done. That one day I may share with y'all because um maybe somebody's living the way that I live and feel like they don't know how to make things work together or whatever. But when I tell you, I don't care what it is that I need, I ain't groveling on the ground for nothing and nobody to help me do shit. You hear what I say? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So, um, I may share with you all one of these days how I get certain things done, but I live differently. And I'm right here on a property. There's a house. There's two houses here. There is several sheds here that we've turned into like little apartments and stuff like that right there or whatever. But and I have just as many as rights as he does. But when I tell you I'm fed up and I refuse. I don't even want to be in the same I don't want to be in the same house as he do. That's how. And I'm telling you, it's not that he doesn't want that. I don't want that. I don't need it. I don't want it. I have no desire to work towards anything. Actually, I've asked to be left alone, to not even speak to me. um, and I hate to be that way, but there's still times that feel like I'm made to. Um, I'm the worst person ever. So I just feel like if I am that person to you, then the best way that we can make you not have to feel that is don't ever be around me. Don't ever talk to me. Don't speak to me. Don't ask me to do things for you. So, um, if you're not happy within yourself, no one can make you happy. They can add to it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, eggshells is the worst thing. And can you imagine really walking on eggshells? A baby is not even light enough to stand on an eggshell without making the eggshell break. So imagine you walking through a marriage and you walking on eggshells with everything that you have going on, and your body is so tensed trying not to break those eggshells. I say it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. I say stomp the hell out of those eggshells and free yourself. Yeah, and the more you're willing to stay there and walk on those eggshells trying not to break them, the only thing that keep happening is things keep getting more worse for you. That's what I'll say to it. So yeah, and I'm not saying you have to be mean or nasty about it, because I've tried to not be mean and nasty about any of this, but it absolutely drives me nuts, or drove me nuts, because it ain't driving me nowhere. It ain't driving me nowhere right about now. Yeah, but when I'm telling you, and I think the reason that I'm speaking to you all about this, because once they can't get to you anymore, they take other routes and stuff, trying to do things to get to you when you block them one way or the other. Yeah, they come at you in different ways. So I've been trying to beat around the bush a little bit to y'all about, what's happening here and there, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm just trying to take my moment to see, are you done? Are you done yet? Only one that can destroy a marriage is the people in it. Absolutely. Yeah, break the eggshells and give them to the chickens after you break them, cause they'll re-eat them. When you break the eggshells, go ahead and crush them up and feed them to your chickens, because those eggshells provide calcium to your chickens for them to make more eggshells for you to scramble, not to walk on. So, yes, break the eggshells. And I think, with that being said, if nobody has any questions or anything, that I'm going to get ready to in this live, and I've had a couple of dreams about some things that's going to be happening. So sooner or later, y'all are gonna be let in on some of the other things that's been happening that I've kind of, just been being very, very quiet about or whatever, because and I'm telling you, a lot of you all are in my comments saying prayers and making comments, especially about toxicity. And there is not another person in my life that I'm going through with toxicity besides my husband at this point. And that's being absolutely 100. There is nobody else in my life that I'm going through anything that has to do with toxicity right now in my life. Only him. And you would think that at this point, with what I'm going through, it would be the other way around. But it's not. Um, I wish it was different. But I'm said that to say, without me telling you all any of those things, people are already praying for it, encouraging me without even knowing that I'm going through those things, to not allow the toxicity in. And I'm telling you, sometimes the flesh be wanting to raise up. The flesh be wanting to raise up, and you be wanting to do some things because you fed up. And I'm telling you, ones that put those words of encouragement to not allow the toxicity in, go the opposite way. It's being put in the chats and in up under my videos and stuff like that, right on time. Right on time. So I like to thank you all for the encouragement that you all give me when you don't even know. If I don't say nothing, if I don't even heart your comment or whatever, I'm telling you, I can see y'all comments. They get overwhelming sometimes, and I can't answer to every single one of them. I can't take my little finger and go and hard and go, but every now and then, yes, I'm gonna show y'all that I see, and I'm gonna answer to some of them or whatever. But you all don't have any idea. Sometimes I come on here and make a video or short or something about something that ain't got nothing to do with what the hell going on in my life on that day. Got absolutely nothing. But I'm trying to stay committed to what I said that I was going to do. Consistent. And if I allow myself to be not consistent, wouldn't that be another way that he get to get up under my skin? So I do what I gotta do to okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can put them in your soil too. Put the eggshells in your soil, but yeah, yeah, you just have to put yourself in a situation where you don't let you don't let those people win. You don't let them see you cry or know any of that. The tears been shoot that the tears been out the window a long time ago when it come down. The only time the tears come up is when I'm trying to keep this flesh um to keep my flesh in check. Cause just cause your mind tell you to do it don't mean it's the right thing for you to do. And especially when you know you've been down that line before and it wasn't the right thing for you to do. Yeah, you can't always follow the first thing that your mind tell you to do. So I try and make sure, you know, that I don't do those things. And still I'm raising children. I am examples to um, my daughters and even my sons in this situation. So I try to think of everything level headed. And, you know, sometimes when your kids are um, going through this situation with you or whatever, it's like it's hard to keep a grasp on your mouth and not say certain things, but to also allow them to remember that, you know, this is your parent. So, also. So, but y'all, yeah, I'm going to get ready to get off this here live and again, appreciate you all for always a lot of people be saying I come on and I help them with stuff, but me, I find that this is a great balance um, for myself because I feel like I can come on and talk to you all and get the things that I need to hear from you all and vice versa. And I always say that. I always say that. I always feel good about, you know, I feel one way when I come on here and then when I get ready to leave off, I feel a whole different way. Yes. So, again, I thank you all for being here, joining Life with Tashana, where life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you gonna get. But also over here, we are the high class gardeners, and high class gardeners just means the majority of us don't mess around with no snakes, no bugs, and no worms, and definitely no frogs. And most of those things is in human form. You know how people show up in those things, but you know, we got some people in here that play with all of those different things. And so for us scared ones, we have to keep the ones around that do play with those kind of things, you know, so they can get them out of the garden. You know. Anyways, but that's just and being a high class gardener, we make sure that we're growing on the inside, literally on the inside of us, and also on the outside, meaning growing whatever food that you can, whatever medicinal things that you can. Get out there in the garden and grow something. Love you all. Y'all have a good night. We'll talk maybe tomorrow.